Hello guys, and welcome to another video here. Today we're taking a look at this custom forest biome and hunting area that is just outside of Brewerstown. So this is a little bit part of an ongoing project that I'm doing. You can see that there is a big old town behind us, and it's kind of stretching from about this area to the castle. It's part of a big region that I'm kind of working on right now. It's all tying into this central town though. And one of these parts that's tying into here is the forest. So a little bit ago on stream, I built a huntsman's house, which is in the town over there. And the important part is that the lord who lives here had like a professional huntsman and hunting dogs, and they all come out into the woods and get some game. I really love the way that this place turned out, especially with the ambience and all these falling particles and the noise and stuff. It's really lovely to walk through here, just feeling the sun coming through the trees every once in a while. And I built this whole place using trees that I made, so I came up with the models. I'll show you right now in Axiom. So if we come over here, I have my clipboard, and I came up with all of these tree models, and all of them are spread throughout. Well, not all of them. Most of them are spread throughout here. There are a couple of more specific trees that I couldn't use, like the polearcted trees, but I won't get too far into it. I've used about 25 different tree variants here, and I think it really works. You get some nice height variations, a little bit of color variation, maybe not as much as I'd like, but I think that the overall vibe here is really lush and lovely, and I even did a bit of research, so looking at what kind of flowers usually thrive in forests, I found a couple of people saying that poppies and orchids do. So we have some orchids in here, and if I can find some, those are some berries, but we also have poppies. Here we go. Throughout the trees here, we have shelf mushrooms coming out and little bits of like dangling roots and stuff. I put toads and frogs and rabbits and salmon and stuff in here. You can see that one making a splash in the water. And of course, we have the hunting area itself. So this is based off of a couple images. I'm going to put up some inspiration photos now for somebody who wants to make their own kind of hunting scene. But yeah, so I wanted to come in here and make it feel a little bit more realistic. When we think about hunting in Minecraft, I think we think of a kind of colonial hunting cabin, like a lone guy living in the woods. But medieval hunting isn't really like that. It's a reserved plot of land where people come and they kind of demonstrate masculinity. So hunting in the Middle Ages is a really important part of male socialization. There's the idea that men should be good at war, and men should be muscular, and men should be like really good at sports and stuff. Talking about the Middle Ages, but of course today too in various ways. But most of the time people don't really want to start a war just so that they can show how tough they are. So they'll get a couple of their friends together and some dogs and horses and stuff, and they'll all go out into the woods and set up a basically picnic and go hunt an animal. These birds are getting a little bit loud. The parts of this place are the kind of central pavilion here. So this is for the Lord himself. He has a chest, a couple of pots, a hunting horn, and a little bed area. I'm going to turn those birds down. So there is the central tent here, and you can see he has his royal standard up. We have a couple of horses here, and we have our crossbows that we're going to use for hunting. Crossbows are a lot easier than bows for hunting because you can load them before you get to anywhere, and they take less skill. And we have this big, nice table here that's covered in a tablecloth. That's what I tried to represent with the quartz and white banners. You see that there are some cooked pieces of steak, some cups and bowls and stuff. Everything you need for a very meat-heavy feast. We also have a couple of armored hunting dogs chewing on bones. Of course, hunting throughout history has been done very heavily with dogs. Most dog breeds today are variations of hunting dogs. Over here we have a spit turning a big piece of meat over the fire. I did this using Axiom again, so if I turn on my gizmos here, you can see that there are a couple of white dots, and that's because this horizontal piece here is a fence that I've stretched out, and this is actually just a normal block, but it's set a little bit lower than it would be if I had placed it like an actual block. And down here, we have a place where they've been cutting up the meat. So you can see that somebody has been stripping this game here. There's a little horse nibbling on the ground. The last thing that I want to show you for the forest is that over here, a little bit further by the pond, we have the actual hunting scene. So this is where the animal died that they're eating over there. I put in my thumbnail, Mojang, please add deer, because I would love to have deer in the game. They're like, especially from a North American context, like deer are the main kind of hunting animal. But yeah, we can see some bloodied grass here, and there is an arrow sticking into the ground where it seems like somebody couldn't quite pull it back up. That's mostly going to do it for the forest today, though. Let me know what you guys thought. I think it's a really cool build, and it's a great way to fill space and kind of stretch the build out across a wider area without filling it with tons and tons of houses and farms, because that can get pretty repetitive. I'm not entirely sure if there's ever going to be something on this side of the forest, but for now it's blank, and this is also pretty blank. I haven't decided if I want to put trees up around it or leave it as just grass. You can see though that the town itself and the outskirts are really coming along here, especially since the last video. People who were here for the live stream last Saturday saw this place in a bit more of a recent state. But yeah, it's coming along. I'd say my goal is to try and finish the project in late March. I think late March is reasonable. The update might come out between now and then, 1.21.5. So I might come back into that forest and add a bunch of things like firefly bushes. And we're going to have the actual falling leaves at that point. So that'll be nice. Right now I'm just using a mod to simulate that. But that is going to do it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.